My name is Lavona Morrow. I am born and bred in California. 61 years. My family came from Tulsa, Oklahoma. So they migrated here through Stockton and here in LA.
Really? It doesn't matter.
Well, I was born in the 60s. So that's when blacks were going through such a transition. That's when there was more of a single family home. It was still the village raising everyone. I was raised by three strong black women, my grandmother, my auntie, and my mother. And I remember having parties. I remember going to church with black patent leather shoes and white socks. I remember eating and all the beautiful cakes and all the women in the fine hats and the gloves. Oh my goodness. And I remember the Easter hunts and the just the family gathering when family was family. And then the 70s came, a teenager in the 70s, and Nelson Mandela was in prison, and our school at Dorsey had to sit out because his wife was thrown in prison. One of the civil rights leaders of our day asked me to come out. He was going to high school with me there at Dorsey, and he had asked me to come out and sing. No, I couldn't do that. I was too shy. It was also a bad time for us in the 70s because the drugs that came in, it destroyed so many of our strong black men and women. And then we had our men that were taken out of the black homes. And so we couldn't do nothing but take care of. See, my grandmother still had her husband. It was something growing up here in California. My mother used to say I'm a country girl, but I was raised in the city. So I was raised in the city.
Oh, anything
Oh,
really, anything. I
well, bell bottoms were the bad hip huggers. We also had go-go boots. That's when I was a little girl, but when I became a teenager, we had the platform shoes. We had the hats. What do you call those hats? That rerun used to run. We used to wear. Even now, the little short tops are back with the bell bottoms. I remember a fad. When I was a flight attendant, we changed the black women because they wanted us to wear our hair, our make us have hairdos that did not match our culture. So we couldn't wear locks in the 70s, in the 80s. We couldn't wear braids and locks until the late 90s. So I was able to see a trend come through that set us flight attendants at that time to wear something that is black or a nice, neat afro. You know, they wore that, but they did not want us to wear braids. It was offensive to them. But we wore them and we was able to wear them as fine. So it became part of the uniform because they were so structured and their identity as their flight attendants. It even came to your hairdo and the color of your makeup. So I saw that change, that trend. It was different people from all over the country. When I first started flying, I flew for Eastern Airlines. I never wore makeup. I was based in DC, but
oh,
I flew from California. That was my first time being a flight attendant. And after that, when I started working with Continental and United, I was LA based. Yeah, and I was able to fly with so many different nationalities. We had to go through a cultural awareness training where we had to interact with everyone from every country, where that our mannerism will not be offensive to them. Oh, United States is really blessed. We're really blessed. I have been to countries where military is out in front of your hotel and the airport. And I have been to countries that was very beautiful. I have lived in DC, Jersey, and Canada. We have more freedom here. Um, you have to respect their laws. We don't have to respect our laws. We can say anything we want, but not in other countries. People express themselves to me how they feel about my color of my skin. They have been aggressive, but then again, they have some been so nice. I think I even touched an angel in the United States. No matter what is going on now, I know for myself, this is the greatest country. I love the weather. It's second to none. It's a beach. It's a beach life with concrete. I was reading about the history of some of the beaches here in California, and some of them were tent communities. And they came in and took it up and put these concrete buildings on California. It's the church life that shaped me. I wanted to go out into the clubs, but God said no. I'm grateful. Um, I went to public schools. High school was fun. I was on the gymnastics team. We did a lot of Black history that also uh, helped mold me because God told me, if you don't know your history, your past, how are you going to function in your future? So I was allowed to go back and find out my past so I could function here in my future. With the migration of my family here, there's so many different cultures here in Los Angeles. I didn't know that there was racism or that I was Black, that it was a problem to people until I started going to other environments that wasn't all Black. Then I found out that me being Black, I had to stand strong. That was always taught. In our generation, it was said you had to be double what your other people are because they don't expect you to know anything. They said, hide something from a Black person, put it in a book. But I found out they go and hide the book. They don't even tell you that there's a book. So, I don't know. I wasn't in the fast lane. I wasn't in the valley girl. I was more church. Uh, United States is nothing but a melting pot.